President of our great institute, Malam Sudani Musa Isa. Thank you very much. The presidency, the governing council of our great institute, thank you. Do it in your Western way and let the president feel the vibe that is here in Oba. Thank you very much. Please, let's have a seat. So on that note, the next 1 hour, I hand over the mic to the chairman of session as we take the proceeding on workshop number 2. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, good morning. The 58th ICAN President, Malam Sudani Musa Isa, BSc, MIOD, FCA. Morning, sir. A distinguished council members, the presidency, good morning, and distinguished council members. Let me rest on the existing, already established protocols. We are looking at professional accountants in an uncertain economy. This topic is so apt at this time, both in the polity and in the economy of Nigeria. This paper will expose professional accountants on how to cope and navigate through uncertain economy. I have no doubt in my mind that you will all enjoy this paper, this particular session. I have the privilege to present Dr. Yemi Sanni, FCA, our counselor to do justice to this paper, and Mr. Benga Community FCA will discuss the paper. Please welcome Dr. Yemi Sanni, FCA.
The 58th president of our great institute, Sudani Musa Isa. And let me just rest on the already established, well-established protocol. Today's paper, like the chairman of the occasion said, is on professional accountants in an uncertain economy. Mr. Max Chairman, permit me to tinker a little bit with that title. So with the authority of the chairman of session, I'm going to tinker a little bit with that title, and I'm going to call it Professional Accountant in an Uncertain Economy and in an Era of Disruptive Technology. So this morning, I've been told because of want of time, everything is going to be abridged. And I don't know whether the technical people are ready to project on the system. Now today, we're going to take some things out. And the basic things we'll be taking out today, out of this session, will be understanding, one, who a professional accountant is. Then secondly, what is an uncertain economy? What is the importance of a professional accountant in an uncertain economy? What are the challenges that are being faced by professional accountants in an uncertain economy? And we're going to be looking at the opportunities that exist for professional accountants in an uncertain economy and the era of disruptive technology. We will be understanding what disruptive technology is and the examples of disruptive technology that exist. Now we go to look at the skills required of professional accountants to be able to function well in an uncertain economy. Thank you. Can you move to the next slide? We know that the role of professional accountants in an uncertain economy, an era of disruptive technology, is critical to businesses and organizations, both in Nigeria and globally. In today's fast-paced and ever-changing business environment, the ability to navigate this uncertainty and harness the power of technology is essential for organizations to remain competitive. And when we talk about uncertain economy is not peculiar to Nigeria. And economic challenges being faced by businesses may include fluctuating markets, increased regulatory scrutiny, and others. All these economic challenges necessitate the need for accurate financial information and sound financial advice from some experts. And who are these experts? Of course, professional accountants. Now, we and everybody in this auditorium today, I strongly believe that we are all chartered accountants. But unfortunately, we do not know the brand that we carry. Here, I will let you understand that brand that you are carrying. If I see a lot of our beautiful ladies that are here, I can see, I'm sure some of them will be carrying Gucci bag, Louis Vuitton, Salvatore Ferragamo. Those are brands. So those are brands that we have associated ourselves with, and they have value. And we believe when we carry them, they enhance, our person. And that is why we carry those bags and those designs. As a professional accountant, we carry a brand, but we do not know because we take it for granted. So, who is a professional accountant? Using the different definitions from different areas combined together, right? I've come up with a particular definition which I'm going to read out to you. Unfortunately, it should have been projected on the board. Yeah, it goes thus. A professional accountant is a person who has completed formal education and training in accounting and has obtained certification such as that issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, whether ACA or FCA, indicating that they meet certain standards of competence and ethical conduct in the field of accounting. And we know that accountants provide a wide range of services. We're going to talk about that. Now, emphasis on these has obtained certification by institutes such as ICAN, and indicating that certification indicates that you have met certain standards of competence and ethical conduct. Trust me, it's not everybody around that has this. So as such, can we all clap for ourselves that we fall into this category? And for those of us who are in this auditorium today, I will not call you professional accountants. I will call you thoroughbred professional accountants. Can we give it to ourselves again? Yes. So a lot of us, like I said, we don't know the brand that we carry. And some of us wrote ICAN during the era of fail one, fail all. You have one double star, then you give all, I've been qualified now for a period of 25 years. And when I started when I started my journey, apart from the fact that I've worked in accounting firms for close to about 3 years after, when I started my journey in the banking industry. And after a while that I decided to look elsewhere, what did I do? I sat down and I remember that, come, you are an ICAN member. You have what it takes to obtain a practicing license. And I applied for a practicing license. And I've been practicing for the past, I think, 14 to 15 years today. And the story has been anything but good. So you can see that the ground that you carry is heavier than what you think that you have. So we're going to see how important we are in this paper. Now, I said professional accountants provide a wide range of services which includes auditing, tax preparation, financial planning, and consulting, amongst others. What is an uncertain economy? What is an uncertain economy? An uncertain economy refers to a state of instability, unpredictability, and lack of clarity in financial and economic conditions. Emphasis on the word instability, unpredictability, and lack of clarity in financial and economic outcomes or conditions. And what could be the factors that could lead to this? We have changes in government policies. We have global events, such as the one we had in 2020, when we had COVID-19 that changed the narratives on how businesses are being done, how meetings are being organized, that made us to know that we can actually work better from home. I'm sure a lot of organizations are still doing remote working because they realize that they get more from their workers when they work from home than when they come to the office. Especially those of us that are in Lagos. You spend a lot of hours commuting to or from work, and those hours are now turned to effective hours for those people that are now working from home remotely. Then we have natural disasters. We have economic downturns. What are the impacts that this uncertain economy portends? Really, we have it impacts consumer spending, investment decision, and overall economic growth. So with this uncertain economy, there is a need to navigate through when you are faced with factors such as change in government policies, global events, natural disaster, and economic downturn. So how and what role, or what are the importance? What's the importance of a professional accountant in under this condition? We have, professional accountants can help navigate in an uncertain economy in a variety of ways. One, we have risk management. It helps to identify and assess financial risks such as fluctuations in currency or interest rate, and develop strategies to initiate them. What we are talking about here is that a lot of businesses will be faced with a lot of challenges, and you need somebody to be able to analyze some of the risks that are inherent in the decisions that you want to take in an organization. And here, a professional accountant comes to mind, because when you want to do this, you need the service of a professional accountant. Then you talk about financial planning and forecasting. During an uncertain economy, don't forget, if you go back to the definition of uncertain economy, it said it refers to a state of instability and unpredictability and lack of clarity in financial and economic conditions. So what does this mean? That means that some of the parameters that you put in financial forecast can be faulty. As such, you will be having a lot of variances, and when you have a lot of variances, of course, you will not be able to take proper decisions. So, for you to navigate through this, you need a professional accountant to help you to navigate through this. Investment analysis. You know, professional accountant make informed decision. It's this era, this particular importance is such that it helps the business, a lot of businesses, organizations to make informed decision about investment, such as mergers and acquisition. Right? So when you want to do a merger or you want to do an acquisition, there is a need to do a lot of due diligence. You want to do financial due diligence. You want to do tax due diligence. You need a professional accountant to help you to navigate through this. Then in terms of cost management in an era of uncertain economy, certain things are likely to happen. Your revenue might not be moving at the proportion or the growth rate that you expect it to be moving. But there will be a need for you to stem your cost. And to stem your cost, of course, you need a professional accountant to help you in this area. Then taxation. This is very, very key, and is one of the areas that has dealt with a higher number of our small and medium enterprises. Why? Because when they start up, they have the idea for the businesses, but they forget to, one, keep proper records of accounts, and to see the tax implication of what they are doing. Now, because they don't pay attention to this, when this liability crystallizes, it consumes them and they run out of business. So, to be able to avoid this kind of problem, you need a professional accountant, right, to be able to navigate you through this. Then we talk about technology implementation, which is under automation. Now, I tinkered with the topic saying professional accountants in an uncertain economy and disruptive technology. You know, under disruptive technology, a lot of narratives have been changed. Now, we have moved from the manual way of doing things into a lot of things have been automated, right? And that enhances efficiency. And during automation, you find out that a lot of tools that are being used to move you from manual processes into this automation process that we are talking about. And to be able to do this, there's a need for professional accountants to understand the technology that is being deployed to achieve this automation. So we look at the challenges being faced by professional accountants in an uncertain economy. We talk about economic uncertainty. When you talk about economic uncertainty, it shows that, you know, on a normal day, when you have, say for example, your budget has been released, on the basis of budget that has been released, you make projections on this, but because there's economic uncertainty, it's highly likely that your projections will always be wrong because of, you remember the definition, unpredictability, right? So some of this, because this happens, and it's not like professional accountants, they are magicians to really know what is going to happen next. You know, this happens, so it presents a challenge for professional accountant, especially when you are doing forecasting. Regulatory changes. You find out that since the era of Finance Act that tries to infuse areas where government wants to change number of policies. So on an annual basis, we have been having Finance Act. Now, this act has implication on different businesses, on different industries. And as a professional accountant, there is a need for you to keep up to date with the content of this Finance Act. And this poses a challenge for a number of us that find it difficult to keep up with all these changes. Then the need to adapt to new technology and digital tools. I mentioned that earlier. As professional accountants, probably a number of our elders in the house who are used to the era of when you use paper, to do your cash book and all those things. Then comes, automation. Now, with automation comes a need for a new knowledge. You need to unlearn the other one and learn the new thing. And for that, of course, it presents a challenge for a number of our professional accountants to be able to keep up with these cybersecurity threats. Because the technology that we are adopting is new to us, there are a lot of people who are advancing this technology and they want to use their advancement to cheat the system. As such, if we don't understand how to protect this when you move from paper to automation, and you don't know that you need to secure, because when you're done in automation, you have your document, and what you do to those documents, you have a safe that where you keep them. But when you get these manual processes automated, right? If we as professional accountants does not know that when we are doing automation, we are replicating the manual processes in an electronic form. So the way you have a safe, when you have the paper documentation, you need to have a way to log in what you have when you have automated the process. If you don't do that, the way somebody can mischievously come to steal your document, that is the way they can steal that document also when you store them electronically. So there is a need to safeguard that. So we have the cyber security threat. Then we talk about talent retention. We all know that talent retention in Nigeria right now is a very critical thing because of the JAPA syndrome. A lot of people believe that it is greener on the other side. And because of the bleak outlook that they have about this country, so they believe that they should get out to look for greener pastures. And as such, we have a lot of problems retaining good hands who are supposed to be able to train the people that are under them. We talk about risk management. I'd already discussed that earlier. Then we talk about ethics. Sorry, that is not ethics, it should be ethics. Ethics and professionalism. That is the basis on which professional accountants rest. Because they believe that if you look at the definition that I gave initially of a professional accountant, it says, please can you go back so that you can see? It's like, up. No, earlier, thoughts like. Yeah. If you look at the definition that is in there, emphasis on indicating that they meet certain standards and competence, established standards of competence and ethical conduct in the field of accounting. So one of the challenges that we have is the fact that some of our colleagues might not be acting ethically, which is why most of the times the institutes incumbent this has set up disciplinary committees to help look into some of these infractions that could be made by some of our professional accountants. What are the opportunities? What are the opportunities for professional accountants in uncertain economy. Because the economy is uncertain, and a lot of people are like they're inside the water, trying to navigate themselves through the water, because everybody is in there. Nobody understands what is happening. Nobody understands what is happening tomorrow because of the unpredictability in the nature of uncertain economy. So there is a growing demand for people with financial expertise and services. And when they are looking for them, who are they looking for? Accountants. People, thoroughbred accountants. Don't forget, you are thoroughbred. You are not just professional accountants. Then also, increase in the use of digital tools and technology in accounting and finance. Right? Because there is disruptive technology, right? There are new ways of doing things. Then, a lot of things that we're doing using manual processes for, we have digital tools to run them now, which enhances efficiency and it reduces the time used to do all this stuff. So it portends an opportunity for use of technology, and as such, you need our people who are vast in the use of these digital accounting tools, right, to be able to help navigate the uncertain economy. Business advisory services. In an uncertain economy, a lot of things are not clear. So you see people looking for who will advise them on what next step to take. And the next step to take majorly is because the uncertainty in the economy is affecting their financial fortune. And as such, they need an accountant who will help them to navigate through this. And through this, we have opportunity to be able to advise clients. Also, diversification. We have diversification such that you're not looking at audit alone. There are other areas. We can look at tax. We can look at business advisory. We can look at different other areas so that it's not only fixated into audit. Then we look about digital transformation. Professional accountants are needed for this. Cost management, we discussed that earlier on. And with all this, there is possibility to expand into new frontiers. Today, we know that there is another world aside the universe where we are in. There's a world that is called metaverse. In metaverse, you see people buying land in metaverse. I understand the most expensive Nike is sold in metaverse. And in metaverse, you need to understand how things run there. We understand that the token they use is called NFT, non-fungible token, right? So as professional accountant, do we know how to audit or to understand, navigate in metaverse? So it's an opportunity there because you can sell your services there and earn decent fees on transaction and from clients in metaverse. I'm going to need to rush us through because my time is almost up. Then we talk about disruptive technology. What is it? What is disruptive technology? Disruptive technology refers to innovation that fundamentally changes the way businesses operate and the way people live their lives. Now, examples of these are artificial intelligence, and we have AI. We have blockchain technology. Blockchain technology gave birth to cryptocurrency. You understand? It's a decentralized form of it's a decentralized system, unlike the centralized system that we're used to. So we have cloud computing. A lot of things are stored in the cloud now. You don't need to look for a storage to store your stuff. You can store all your things in the cloud. There's virtual augmented reality, and we have self-driving vehicles. So what are the impacts of this disruptive technology in accounting, the accounting industry? Now, it has impacted the way we do our bookkeeping because most of these tasks that are repetitive tasks, right? Machine learning, AI can actually carry them out. So now we have automated bookkeeping. In terms of fraud detection, these artificial intelligence tools can be used to detect if fraud have been perpetrated. And all this increase productivity and you need to become analytical in carrying out these things. And here I would say technologies are rapidly changing traditional business model, and they create new opportunities and challenges. The opportunities and challenges are things that I've discussed earlier. Please, next page. So what are the skills that you need to have as professional accountant in an uncertain economy? You need technical skills in your area. You need to understand accounting principles. You need to understand all the tax regulations, the accounting regulations, so that you'll be able to navigate well during an uncertain economy. You have strategic thinking and problem solving. As accountant, we are not only to do debit and credit. Now, in an uncertain economy, there's a need to sit down and have critical thinking on how to navigate the success of the organization. And in navigating the success of the organization, you are not looking at the things that are just currently happening. You are looking at how to take them out of that current situation and to be able to sustain them over a period of time. Digital literacy and proficiency. This is very critical because we have moved from manual processes into electronic ways of doing. Strong communication and collaboration skill. You need to be an effective communicator, because when you're talking to your clients, you need to be able to listen to them, understand what their problems are, and be able to communicate back to them, give them feedback on how to solve their problems. Then adaptability and flexibility. You need to be able to adapt to the recent happenings in terms of disruptive technology and all, and be flexible in your ways of doing things. You need leadership skill. At this era, you will need to be able to direct, and navigate people through. So that means that others will be looking up to you to be able to give them a sense of direction on how to move forward. Then you'll be looking at compliance and regulatory knowledge. Don't forget, one of the things that happen in an uncertain economy is regulatory changes. And when you have regulatory changes, there is a need for you to keep yourself abreast of this regulation and be able to ensure that your clients comply effectively with things that are happening there. So with this, you can see that the importance of professional accountant, you can see the challenges that are being faced, you can see the opportunities that exist there, and you can see the skill and capabilities that is required for success. With this, I will try to bring this to a close because of time. The slide is available and you can have the slide. So, parting note is that as professional accountants, we carry a seed, right, that is there, and the seed is in us, and us is a fertile ground for that seed to grow and germinate. We underestimate that the brand that we are carrying, and it is now that we need to recognize that that brand is something that is what more than what we think it is what, and we need to carry ourselves shoulder high. And on that note, I draw a curtain to this presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Sanni, for that wonderful presentation.